And we are live. We are live at AHR 2026 here in Las Vegas, Nevada. And today I have Brad Hannikin. Did I say that right?
Yes, sir.
All
yes.
right. Brad Hannikin here from Parker Sporlan. Now, Brad, you and I have met a few times, but can you just let everybody know what it is that you do here at Parker Sporlan?
Yeah, thanks. So I am a product manager for the thermostatic expansion valves, the distributors that go on to those, and the mechanical pressure regulating valves for all of Sporlan.
Okay. All right. So, you guys at Parker Sporlan obviously make a good majority of valve components, TEV, or obviously TEV, filter dryers, catch-alls, see-all sight glasses, but Parker Hannifin itself too makes all sorts of other stuff too, right? They're involved in several different industries.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Parker is a global company, aerospace, hose products, us, they're a widespread across almost countless industries, it feels like.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Okay, let's talk about it because, a lot of people have been wondering what's going on. So you guys have had a few changes with your TEVs lately. And I'd like to kind of get an idea, why do we have these new changes going on? Like, for instance, right now, you guys have a new valve adjustment coin right here.
Yeah. Thanks for asking. So we brought these coins out to HR Las Vegas. So we're changing the adjustment component on the bottom cap. So all in the face of moving forward and automation and trying to get down to simpler manufacturing styles, we decided to go with the hex on there, and it's a rising stem that we can automate the testing portion of that and automate the assembly. So leading towards automation and lower cost to the OEMs, to contractors, to everybody.
Okay, and with that, does it change anything else about the valve? Does it change the operation of the superheat stem, whether we go clockwise or counterclockwise, or is that all still the same? We're just changing the delivering mechanism, basically.
So there's a few bonus features on the new version, I would say. It's the same thread pitch, so you get the same amount of adjustment per turn. So that's all the same. Superheat reaction to how much you're adjusting, that's all the same. However, the feature on this bottom cap is if you turn this, it's a rising stem. So you have instant feedback from, hey, let's say I've got high superheat, but the stem's all the way in. Okay, something else is wrong. I'm out of adjustment. Whereas the old bottom cap, you don't know where that spring position is.
Interesting.
So the rising stem gives you a little bit more feedback to the contractor who's working on the system.
Oh, that's very interesting. Okay,
yes,
that totally makes sense. All right, so that's kind of cool. And again, so basically to make the, I'm sorry, lost my train of thought there, but you also have another change coming in, and I know there was, some people talking about it, but basically you guys changed the nut size on the power heads themselves. Okay.
Yep.
And and also you changed though the way that you connect the capillary tube to the power head. Did you not? Isn't there?
That is correct. Yes. Yeah.
So what's the thought behind that?
Okay, so for refrigeration guys, you guys are used to the 1 inch, the number 43 size element head.
Yes.
That was and then for the higher pressure refrigerants, 410A, when that came in, we developed what we call the 45. That was 1.25 inch hex that dealt with the higher pressures, was able to hold on to that lock ring assembly. What we found through testing is that we can combine those two into 1 1/8 inches, and now we have one size that does refrigeration, low pressure, high pressure, 454B, R410A, and we get it down to one. And then again, that lends to automation.
Yeah.
So now we have one product style going through our plant rather than two.
Yeah.
And then we got to keep them separate. And really, the internal guts on those components are now the same. So again, automated assembly, automated welding, all that's going together. Now for the cap tube going into the top, that was kind of a unique joint that we had on there, coming in from a button and coming out 90 degrees. Well, now that was a manual process for decades. That's how we used to how we put those things together. So now with the dome top, with the cap tube coming in, we use induction brazing.
Oh, okay.
A lot more consistent. It doesn't have to be manual. We can automate that from everything from installing the solder ring to the heat being applied. So now you get a lot more consistent braze joint, a lot more consistency, bend life, for guys who are torquing these things around out in the field, a lot more consistency and longer, better results with that.
but we still have a dependable valve that, like always,
absolutely, yeah,
still the same Sporlan quality.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay.
The quality is always the top thing. You know,
Right.
we wouldn't launch anything that is degrade from what we previously had, for sure.
Okay, so a question that did come in right now is how fast is the stability after making an adjustment on the superheat adjustment stem on the bottom of the valve? Are we still doing the same thing where you make a minor adjustment, wait 15, 20 minutes, check numbers, and then repeat?
That is exactly right. Yeah,
Okay.
nothing system-wise is changing as far as the reaction time. So yeah, you want to set that or make a change, wait 15, 20 minutes, and then see what's happening, and then make an adjustment again.
Got you. Okay, so we're still following that same project.
For sure.
So, okay, right, that goes with that. So let's talk a little bit, and I know, you know, we kind of mentioned before the show, and we kind of talked about this a little bit last year too, but let's talk about the A2L refrigerants a little bit, and as far as our expansion valves, anything changing special with the A2L refrigerants other than having to have a certain certification for an A2L refrigerant, right?
So last year, I think we spoke then, and we'll reiterate now, we did have to develop a couple new charges.
Okay.
So on the refrigeration side for the 454A applications, we developed the T charge, whereas, you know, the Victor and the S, the V and S series is kind of what was out there in the field before.
Yeah.
Well, the PT chart of 454A kind of hit right in between those. So you could potentially get away with using one or the other, but you run into a potential flooding in one condition or starvation in the other. And we didn't really feel like it was good of us as a component manufacturer to give you something that we knew was going to be restricted as far as how much you could use it.
Mm-hmm.
So we developed the T charge to kind of hit right. It was developed specifically for 454A.
Okay.
So that was perfect. And then on the air conditioning side for 454B, we developed the Y series charge instead of the ZGA. Now we have a YCP, same internal components on that, same bulb assembly, different bulb charge, obviously, to handle that new different refrigerant. But again, it reacts the same as the ZGA would on 410A or now R32. The ZGA is the R32.
And now these valve assemblies, the power heads by themselves, these are all purchasable still, just like we're going to be able to have them in the BQ kit.
Absolutely, yes. Yeah, so we're updating the BQ kits. That literature should be out there with new charges on the full cases if you order a full case. But yeah, all those element components are available to order, and they've been available for a while now. Okay,
all right. So nothing big with that. You know, there's a lot of fear and a lot of confusion. I don't even want to say fear, but I want to say confusion that's kind of masked by fear with the A2L refrigerants. And I think that, you know, you guys have a lot of great information. In something else too, I'm kind of going off on a tangent right now. You know, we still need to make sure that we are properly sizing our components when it comes to these new refrigerants. Nothing's changing with that. It's still the same. So we can always go to, what is it, Sporlan.com?
Sporlan.com, that's correct.
Right? And then we can find all of our literature that we need there. We also have Virtual Engineer on Sporlan.com, which is going to help us to size components.
Yes, yeah. All the new refrigerants have been loaded in there, so you can find your sizing. Go about what you used to do. So it's a lot of new things, but you can get to all the information you need the same old ways type of thing.
And you guys have some pretty good educational material on there too, right? You guys have tech documents explaining different things about the refrigerants. Do you have any A2L stuff on there?
So we have an A2L catalog that kind of goes through the product changes that were uploaded for the air conditioning side of that. And then we obviously are in the process of releasing 1010 is out there online right now. No printed versions yet, but that's bringing in a lot of A2L content into all the TEV world. So all that's out there right now. Again, a few more minor tweaks to go yet, but the content is out there. And if you have questions, always tech support is available. So that's always available as well.
Cool, right on. Anything else that I'm forgetting to talk about? I don't think so.
I think we're
pretty good.
Yeah. Let's we got any comments from the viewers?
Yeah, we're looking through right now. Looks like we don't have any more new comments about besides what we already had. Jason here is asking if there's anything new in the EEV world. They're on every one of the new chillers, and they have been for years now. So is there any new fancy stuff coming out as far as EEVs?
So the good thing about EEVs is, you know, if you have a controller, you can put the algorithm in for the new refrigerants, but the EEV can handle, you know, the wide range. Exactly.
It's really the software and the firmware that's going to run the EEV basically in whatever device.
Exactly. But all that stuff is available again, Sporlan.com for your EEV, and then controller software. So we do have the new MT1 platform coming out. Again, that's, you can use that for any refrigeration. CO2 specifically is what we're gearing that for. But
Okay.
but anything you want to use that for, as far as refrigeration and EEVs, that's all still available.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Well, I think we're going to wrap this one up. Thanks so much. And hope to catch you guys on the next one. Okay.